everyone, you're welcome to another exciting episode of the carefully created podcast Ibusola. If you're new here, you're most definitely welcome and you are in for a ride, because today's episode I have a very, very, very special guest to my heart, right? Is our bestie. It's my husband's best friend in the person of Mr. Taiwo Taite-Adeyemo, and it's going to be such an amazing conversation. This is going to be another inspiring conversation and you don't want to miss out on this. So let's jump right into it, and I know that you're going to be blessed. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Taiwo Taite-Adeyemo. I'm a lover of God. I'm married. I am married to the love of my life. My best friend, Perez Taite-Adeyemo.
I thought my husband was your best friend.
That's what marriage you do to you. That's what marriage you do to you. Alright, that's what marriage you do to you. I'm sure likewise it's the same thing for me. And I don't mind. Have you seen yourself? So yeah, anyways. I'm the number 4 amongst 5. Or rather myself and my twin sister. We're the last one. I grew up in a disciplined home by my father, alright, and my loving mother. I grew up in I'll call it a closely knitted family.
You guys are
so
very tight.
I have an understanding of family. As the last boy, my sister came out last, so that's why I said the last boy. Alright, it was interesting growing up because a lot of things that were done at home, maybe I think that's where the topic that we're going to be talking on started from. Alright, I happened to be in a position where I ran most of the errands. Alright, so my name was very popular in the house. Taiwo, go and do this. Taiwo, go and do this. And I think that's where my journey of service, I would say, started from, because it really shaped the person that I am. Alright, so especially with regards to service. And now I'd always just been that person that was always going to do that job. When I mean that job, in the sense that Taiwo will do this, tell Taiwo to go to this place, tell Taiwo to go to this place. And I think quite early enough, not necessarily, but maybe when I got into university and I had some understanding, before university actually, I just wanted to do some things that I didn't want them to send my sister. Alright, then I didn't know, but maybe I didn't want her to be running errands past some certain time, or I'd rather just want to do those things than her doing it. So sometimes I'd rather go to the market than just to stress her. So yeah, I think that's where my journey of service, started.
Awesome. And just before we started recording, I want to say it again, that I said, when you told me the topic that you wanted that was on your heart to share, I felt like you're the best person to share that, because I've known you how many years now? Let's say like 3 years-ish.
No, sister. Yeah, 4 years now.
4 years now, right? And I can say, 4 years that I've known you, but like that I've experienced your person is like in the past 1 year. And I believe that you're the best person to be speaking about service, because you're such a servant leader, right? And you have such a heart to serve, and it's always so beautiful to watch. Like sometimes I just look at this boy is trying. Right? And it's just so beautiful to watch. And I think that I should say, take your flowers.
Thank you. I will say this.
Right. Okay. You end it. But I can imagine that as much as you are saying these things, then it sounds like this brother is trying and he's doing a good job. Was it always easy for you?
No, definitely not.
Because we're going to delve into the aspect of, yes, we talk about identity on this podcast, but like there are times when even in our identity is the fact that we serve God, right? And that we are born to serve this God who made us. So my question is, because sometimes it's not very easy. So for you, that it looks like when I see how you do it, and not just serving your friends and family members, even as you serve in the vineyard of faith. It's like it just looks like it's seamless to you. Is it really, really seamless?
So I'll put it half and half. All right. I know it is a duty, and it's a duty. All right. So I just wanted to say that why it might look seamless to me, I've given you a background, okay?
Yeah.
So that is already, it has been inculcated in me.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm just in my mindset. Yeah, my mindset. However, since I became a Christian, and when I say became a Christian, I took my faith more seriously, which would be around my second semester in 100 level when I got into university, and I started having a better understanding of service. All right, I first of all look beyond just I'm serving God. The Bible says that we should do whatever we do, we should do it unto the Lord. All right, so these are understandings that help me or that guide my actions around service, because I know I'm not doing it unto whoever I'm doing it to, I'm doing it unto the Lord. And it's like I said, it's not been seamless, but I've understood it to be a duty. It is what I've been called to do. When I'm called to do, not like that's my calling, but at that particular point, if I'm to serve, I take it as a calling, and I'm called to serve. So it is an instruction to. So it's beyond the person that I'm serving. I'm doing it as unto the Lord. So that's how I'll say.
Wow.
But it's not like it is seamless in the stream. But I think I also, at this point, I also take joy and delight in serving people. So those are the things that fall my actions in doing those things, because it just allows me to do it, quote unquote, seamlessly. Yeah.
Okay. But have you ever, like, at any point in time, gotten to a point where you're like, no, I'm not even doing it? Probably because, okay, let me first ask this one before I get to that one. Have you ever done anything for someone that you feel like, I don't think I should have served this person, probably because you got burnt doing that, or you just regretted the action of serving a person or a body or a place of work? Because, like I said, service for you is not even just because you are serving as a worker in church. It's like a lifestyle for you. Has it ever gotten to the point where you're like, no, for this particular institution or person or body of people, I'm not doing it again?
Can I be honest?
Yes, now.
I've never really been. So, the way I function, if probably the act of service is getting strenuous. Alright, I talk to myself a lot. I ask myself questions, and it can be very quick in seconds. Alright, so if I'm going to be honest, I can't even remember ever having that disposition.
Really?
I'm just being honest.
You know, Taiwo, when you said, if I'm going to be, can I be honest? I was like, well, fine. Taiwo is like the rest of us.
Truthfully, I'm just being honest, because even in serving my wife, at the point where I'm like, is this service? Why am I even? Or is she appreciating it? I like I said, I talk to myself, so I'm like, so it's beyond that just appreciating it. I know I want to do it, all right, and the joy. Sometimes even if I don't see that in her face, I talk to myself and say, I'll do this tomorrow again.
Yeah. Oh wow.
I'll do this another day. I can't get tired of serving, because I have to serve. So I'm just being honest. I don't think, like I said, maybe mentally, because at times that you walk the work of God, especially in the house of God. But like, I don't have that mindset. Once I'm called to serve, I'm called to serve. But I've noticed that in the past maybe 2 or 3 years, my understanding of service has changed. All right, when I mean my understanding of service has changed, is that it will be that how would I put it? So there are some things that maybe I could do while I was younger that I can't do now. All right, so I think service evolves, and like as I'm growing to, I'm also learning that. So it's a learning curve for me too, in the sense that you should understand that service evolves, and maybe the things, because sometimes I feel guilty and I'm like, I'm not doing as, especially with some of the tasks that I required to do in church. All right, I'm like, I'm not giving. This is not the Taiwo that before now. You know, so I'm coming to learn that maybe where I am right now, and I'm actually dealing with that conflict because it's looking like, and that's a conversation, right? And like that's the identity part. It's looking like, okay, so now God is blessing you. You don't have time. But in my heart, that's not where I am. I can never get to that point by the grace of God. And I don't want to get to that point. So I deliberately have surrounded myself around people that I know if I'm lagging behind, thank you. You edit that. If I'm lagging behind, right? I know that if I call Shay, he will tell me, okay, this is this. And if he'll be like, okay, no, you're it's different right now, all right? So I think that's where I'm struggling with right now. That's the place where I am right now, where I'm thinking, okay, is it that because God is blessing me small now, I don't know, but I know that's not where it is.
Yeah.
But it's just that, and I don't want to say, it's not that I don't have time, but maybe, okay, I was having a conversation with Shay while we were in the lorry, and they mentioned something. When we were in the lorry, right, by virtue of the privilege that we had, we sat very closely to our executive pastor at the time, all right, and there were some things that was a joy to do, all right, but right now, based on even those time and growth, when I mean growth, we can now afford those jobs that we were doing then, all right, we can afford to pay someone else to do it, all right, so it's still service because you're still solving a problem, all right, but it's just that at this point you can't do that because there is an assignment that you also are handling, all right, and that you are accountable to God, and you're accountable to a lot of other people than it was then, all right, because by virtue of where you are right now, as a family man now, I can't, in the sense, all right, it depends on the level also, all right, everybody has to recommit themselves at a different level, but I'm saying for a job like, maybe laundry or doing something, you can pay people to do that. Cook, you can pay a cook. Jonah, I'm just giving that even is to the little or quote unquote menial jobs, right? All right, that then it was a joy to do. But right now, based on where we are, we can actually pay someone to do that. While you can also do other things. All right, because now you can afford to do that. So, but I think that's the conflict that I've been struggling. I've been having of late, where I am like, I know I can't be able to do this anymore, but it's strange to me. This is very strange to me because
you grew up.
I'm always all in. I'm always all in. But now it's not that I'm not all in, but I just know that I can't do this again. I can't do this again. But so I think that's where.
Wow. And it's interesting that you're having that conflict because sometimes, and it's not unexpected actually. It's not unexpected because if you're someone who is always doing, it gets to a point where you start feeling like, am I slacking, right? You start feeling like, I hope it's not pride, I hope it's not this. You now start asking yourself some questions like, I used to be this person, but now that you're not doing those things that were service to you, the service has taken on another body, but because you grew up with this other type or understanding of service, now it looks like I'm not doing the things I used to do, and it will take a while for your mind to catch up with your spirit and your body that things have changed. Literally in every area of your life, things have changed for you, and so you can't be doing those things anymore. And it doesn't change the fact that you're still serving God. It doesn't change the fact that God still recognizes your heart to serve Him. It doesn't change the fact that in the things that you are doing, He places a blessing on it because He brought you up to this level now, and He knows that at this level, this is what Taiwo can do. Not even just can do, should be doing, and He's actually showing up, right? And it now takes me to the next thing I was going to talk about and even ask you to share on about sonship and service. That because you are a son, you're not a servant in the house, really. You're not a slave, so to speak. You are a son. And so there are certain things that when you have your son, there's certain things that, as much as you want your child to always be around you, your father cannot expect now that Taiwo will come to the house and be washing his car. Do you understand? Because now you have your own family. Do you understand? And so even with God, there's certain things that because we are sons, you can get away with it. Not because you don't want to serve God, but because God knows that, no, I put Taiwo in this new office, right? In this new position. Taiwo, with this new position, you would realize that you are serving in areas now that you were not even serving in before.
Yeah, I totally agree. Because I was just thinking about what you're talking. I can imagine, just even use the scenario of God and Jesus, all right? While Jesus was in heaven, I'm sure he had some things he was doing, right?
Okay, yes.
But when he came to the earth,
change of operations.
Yeah, so it doesn't mean that he wasn't serving the Father, but the assignment and the responsibility have changed, all right? Even just as if you're like your father is very wealthy and he has servants around, right? Even as a son, when you can serve your father in a different capacity.
Absolutely.
All right, based on responsibility. Absolutely. So I totally agree. Yeah, I totally agree. That's so true. So yeah.
Awesome. So as you grow in service, I feel like there will be people listening that feel like this thing doesn't come naturally to me. How do you build this? If they want to serve God, they have identified that as we grow in faith, this relationship with God it goes both ways, right? So how do I serve?
Okay, so first of all, aside from the angle of we've been saved to serve. Simple as that. Good works don't save us, all right? We have been saved by grace through faith, all right? It is latching onto the faith, all right? Using our faith to latch onto the grace that has been provided to us that saves us. However, we have been saved to do good works.
Absolutely.
All right. Once you are saved, there are a lot of assignments that God requires of us, demands of us. All right. And I think the first thing to even talk about is your love for God. All right. You can't serve. This is my own perspective, right? You can't serve the one you do not love. You cannot serve.
So powerful, and it's true.
It's not possible. You would, after a while, you enter error, you rebel, and then you would mostly fall apart, both natural and spiritually. So if you don't have a love for God, all right, if you don't have a heart for God, it will be very difficult to serve. Because the reason why I can serve my wife is because I love her. And when I mean I love her, it's not even just love of butterflies in my. I love her because it's a commitment to her. It's a decision I've made. All right. So love is not a feeling. All right. So it's not like I feel some type of way to God, towards God rather. But I've decided to love the one who loved me when I didn't even love myself and I didn't even know myself. All right. God has shown me so much grace and mercy that I love Him with the whole of my heart. So if I don't love Him and that understanding, all right, is not in place, there is no way I would not err. All right, there is no way I can serve. All right, so I think that's the first thing we need to identify, or we need to tackle on our love for God, pursuing God sincerely, wholeheartedly. All right, and this comes by studying the Word, praying. All right, and don't be hard on yourself. All right, it's to me even the little you know about the Scripture. All right, that you can hold on to God, or rather that you can relate with God with, that can start that spark of service, all right? So once you've dealt with the aspect of your love and your relationship with God, I believe service will come easy, because the next thing will be, like you see, like Paul, after he experienced Christ, the next thing is, what will you have me do? That's the next question that will come out of your mouth. Because if you've experienced that love, the next thing is, what will you have me do? All right, it's not even, I'm not talking about you being a pastor or doing evangelism. That's powerful. That's a part of it. But what I'm trying to say is that once you have dealt with your relationship with God, once that has been in place, it will be easy to serve.
And that's so powerful. If there is anything I would take out of today, amongst the other things that I have held on to from what you've said, so you can't serve the one you don't love. And I feel like sometimes we miss that. And I need to say that, and I was saying something one day on the podcast as well, how with God, it's important that you love Him. It's important to Him that you love Him. That was the reason why I was asking Peter that, do you love me? Do you love me? Like, you're complaining that you left, you're complaining, but do you love me? Right? And then he now told him, you love me, feed my love. So the service will be birthed from the place of love. And that's so powerful. Thank you so much for sharing that. I know that time is going, and I always try to keep the podcast short, but it ends up being long due to no fault of mine. However, I just need to say thank you so much for sharing, because in this generation where everybody wants to be the Baba, everybody wants to be the Oga, you don't necessarily see people who are willing to submit and serve, right? And there's some people who are willing, but they don't know how. And so just hearing you share all of these things step by step, it's just so profound. And thank you, Taiwo, for sharing with us.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm so happy to have you in this couch conversation.
Share one thing.
Please go ahead.
Sorry. So let me just tell you the honest truth. And I'm looking to the camera because, trust me, there is a lot of benefits to service.
Oh, okay.
There are a lot of benefits output. There are a lot of benefits. Trust me, don't let anybody deceive you otherwise. It might take time, alright, because there's a process in life, and God will not commit an inheritance to you that He knows that you will squander. Alright? So, if at all maybe you've been serving for a while and it just seems like nothing is happening, I've been there, trust me. Alright, I've not entered into another fullness, but trust me, I've been where you are. But it pays. It pays to serve. Stay at it. You can tie a lot of things to your service and hold God responsible. I can tell you, I can't remember the last time I went to a hospital to be admitted. And trust me, my understanding is from a place of service.
Please say that thing that you always say. We don't die their death, we don't fear their fear.
It is as simple as that. Trust me. There's a testimony when I was in school. There's a time, you know the way chicken pox works, especially if you're around a lot of people, if you stay around a lot of people, it catches one, it most likely goes to another person, at least, or two more people. And I can tell you, and this thing happened twice, right? While I was in school, I saw one of the bomb on my body. I was like, never, it can't happen. I serve God. I cannot not be available for God. And literally, the next day, my body was dried up. Like, I did not see anything. Second day, maybe another year after, while I was on break at home, it just I'll call it pandemic happened. It caught my brother, it caught my sister. My siblings were like, don't come. I said, no, I hugged one of my brother, literally hugged him, that had it. I said, it cannot happen to me. It did not happen to me, it happened to another person that was there. I'm telling you. And I was the one that was forming, that she was running away, that stay away from me, stay away. And trust me, Exodus 23:25 is so real to me for serving. So there was a time I took a break. I was conflicted because I tie a lot of things to service. So when I was not serving, quote unquote, in like physically actively serving, let me say it that way, I was conflicted. I was like, so what am I doing? So where's the scripture? Where's my defense? Because it was a defense.
So your defense, now you should know that your defense is in sonship.
Yes, exactly. So like you said, we are all growing.
Yes.
But by that point, I was like, what's my defense? Where's my service? So it was so important to me that, and immediately I had to plug into another form of service. Because to me, trust me, it is so key. Once you serve God, and like I said, it may not necessarily be in church. Serve your wife, serve your community, serve your country, serve your friend. But provided you're doing it as unto the Lord, you are serving the Lord. And once you're serving the Lord, it will bless your bread and water. It will take sickness away from your midst. None will be barren among you. Those are scriptures that you put in mind that will stand as your defense. And trust me, there is no devil in this heaven or earth or even beneath that can touch you. I can tell you that.
Hey, Apostle, take it. Thank you so much, Taiwo. That was such a good way to wrap this up. I mean, He will bless you. It will take sicknesses and diseases far away from you. There was something you said before now that I don't think I had seen like that before. Where is the sickness coming from? I cannot be unavailable for God.
Yes.
Hey, that one bust my brain. Anyways, Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful.
Thank you. Finally, right?
Finally. All right, so sign out for us, Taiwo.
All right, thank you very much. Carefully created. Carefully created podcast. Like, share, and subscribe. Look at the link below and click on the notification button for more episodes.
You should open YouTube.
For more episodes. Busola is trusted. Alright, so trust me, I know you'll get spiritually uplifting content on this page that will transform your life. Alright, God bless you. God loves you.
Yes.
Stay blessed.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.